All right, you ready to go?
Okay, good morning. This is State and Local Government Committee for April 4th, 2022. And we have our first matter today is a confirmation hearing for Ellen Jane Schneider of Reedfield for appointment to the Maine Governmental Facilities Authority. And Ms. Schneider, is that correct? Am I pronouncing that correct? Good morning. Thank you for joining us. And also thank you, Ms. O'Neill Lowe, who is also joining us. Thank you. And first we'll go around and have people introduce themselves, starting with Senator Rosen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm Kimberly Rosen, Senate District 8. I have 16 towns in Hancock and Penobscot County, from Castine to Lincoln.
Great. And Representative Greenwood.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Randy Greenwood. I represent House District 82, which are the communities of Litchfield, Monmouth, and my hometown of Wales in both Androscoggin and Kennebec counties. Thank you.
Representative Mark Bryant.
Thank you, Senator. I'm Mark Bryant. I represent House District 24, part of the town of Wyndham. Good morning, all.
Representative Kathy Downs.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm Kathy Downs. I represent District 130, which is Bucksport and Orrington. Welcome.
Representative Walter Reisman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Walter Reisman. I live in the town of Harrison, and I proudly represent District 69, soon to be 83. And that's two counties, Bridgeton, Harrison, and Denmark. Thank you.
Representative Lynn Copeland.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Lynn Copeland. I represent House District 14, which is going to be House District 130. And currently it is coastal and downtown Saco, and I'm proud to be a representative of my community.
Representative William Toole.
Good morning and thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm Will Toole. I represent the Machias area plus Lubec and Eastport, which is House District 139. And it's going to be changed into several districts when the new redistricting takes place later this year. But it's a pleasure to be here with you all today.
Thank you. And my House co-chair, Representative Ann Matlack.
Good morning, Senator Baldacci. Yes, I am Ann Matlack. I represent House District 92, which includes the communities of Cushing, Thomaston, South Thomaston, St. George, Matinicus, Creehaven, and the Muscle Ridge Islands.
My name is Joe Baldacci. I represent Senate District 9, which is the city of Bangor and the town of Herman. So as I said, the first matter on our agenda is a confirmation hearing. I believe we will need a motion.
Do you have a script, sir? Do you want me to go through the script?
Would you be so kind as to do that?
Certainly. Yeah, I just want to make sure we're doing everything properly. Our last
All by script, that's fine.
Yeah, there you go. This is a public hearing of the Joint Standing Committee on State and Local Government for the purpose of considering the nomination by the governor of Ms. Ellen Jane Schneider of Reedfield for appointment to the Maine Governmental Facilities Authority. Under the law and joint rules of the legislature, this committee is required to hold this public hearing and to recommend confirmation or denial of the nominee by majority vote of the committee members present and voting. As chairs of the committee, we will then send written notice of the committee's recommendation to the President of the Senate. Let's see. The committee will hear testimony from and have an opportunity to question the governor or her representative, who is Ms. O'Neill Lowe, the nominee, and any other persons present who wish to speak for or against the nomination. This meeting is currently being live streamed on the committee's YouTube channel. This means that anyone who is a participant in the meeting via Zoom can be seen and also heard if their microphones are unmuted. People testifying cannot be seen or heard until they are called upon to speak. This meeting will be recorded and available to view on the committee's YouTube channel soon after the meeting has concluded. Pursuant to Title III, Section 157 of the Maine statutes, which requires that there be an affirmative motion to recommend confirmation of the nominee, the chair would accept a motion to confirm Ms. Schneider. Is there a motion for confirmation?
So moved.
Thank you, Representative Copeland. May I have a second?
A second.
Thank you. Let me see. The chair now recognizes Ms. O'Neill Lowe for the purpose of making a statement concerning this nominee. Good
Thank
morning,
you.
Ms. Lowe.
Good morning. Thank you, Senator Baldacci, Representative Matlack, and distinguished members of the Joint Standing Committee on State and Local Government. My name is Melissa O'Neill Lowe, and I'm the Director of Boards and Commissions for Governor Janet Mills. I'm here today on behalf of the governor to speak in support of the nomination of Ellen Jane Schneider of Reedfield as a member of the Maine Governmental Facilities Authority, or MAGIFA, as many know this authority as. The Maine Governmental Facilities Authority is found under Maine Revised Statutes at 4 MRSA Section 1602. The authority was established to assist state government in financing the construction and equipping of facilities by providing access to the tax-exempt bond market, and was created as a body corporate and politic and a public instrumentality of the state. The exercise by the authority of powers conferred in this chapter is considered to be the performance of essential governmental functions. The authority consists of 5 members, one of whom is the treasurer of the state, serving as an ex officio, one of whom is the commissioner of administrative and financial services, serving as an ex officio, and 3 other members who shall each serve for a term of 5 years and are appointed by the governor, subject to the review by the Joint Standing Committee of the Legislature having jurisdiction over state and local government and confirmation by the legislature. Ellen J. Schneider is of Reedfield and is a graduate of Michigan State University with a degree in biology and holds a Master of Health Services Administration from the University of Michigan. She began her career in Maine with multiple positions related to health policy and financing in state government at the USM Muskie Institute and at a nonprofit foundation. In 2006, she joined the State Department of Administrative and Financial Services. She served nearly 3 years as the state budget officer, and for the final 6 months of the Baldacci administration, served as commissioner of the department. Upon leaving the administration, she served as vice president for finance administration at the University of Maine at Augusta. Since 2015, Ellen has served as the deputy director of the National Academy for State Health Policy, a private nonprofit organization advising states on health policy and practice. Ellen Jane Schneider of Reedfield has an unparalleled knowledge of state budgeting and finance, which will make her an invaluable addition to the Maine Governmental Facilities Authority. And on behalf of the governor, I would urge you to support this nomination. I thank you for your time this morning and would be happy to answer any questions that anybody may have.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill Lowe. Are there any questions for the governor's representative this morning? Seeing none, thank you for participating with us here today.
Thank you.
The chair now recognizes Ms. Ellen Jane Schneider for the purpose of making a statement concerning this nomination. Ms. Schneider, welcome to the state and local government.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Senator Baldacci, Representative Matlack, and honorable members of the State and Local Government Committee. My name is Ellen Jane Schneider, and I am from Reedfield, and I'm very pleased to be with you today as you consider my confirmation or my nomination to MAGIFA, the Maine Governmental Facilities Authority. As Missy generously noted, over the course of my career, I have had a variety of positions. I do have a degree in health policy with a concentration in health economics and finance. And many of the jobs that I've held have been in the health policy arena, and most of those were either in state government or in positions or involved with special projects related to state government. Later in my career, my experience in both the public sector and my experience with finance led to other opportunities. During the Baldacci administration, I was tapped to become Associate Commissioner of DAFS, the Department of Administrative and Financial Services. Part of my responsibilities in that position was the general oversight of bond-funded governmental facilities projects. From Associate Commissioner, I moved to the position of State Budget Officer. And that's a position that required a blend of many skills, including financial management, a depth of knowledge of state government and its operations, and an ability to work across a broad section of stakeholders ranging from the governor and his cabinet to the legislature, private citizens, and the media. I also work closely with the state treasurer and his staff around a range of issues, including working to secure favorable bond ratings for the state of Maine, and working on bond sales for the state. That experience afforded me the opportunity to learn the rating and bonding procedures, which has served me well throughout the budgeting and appropriations process. It also helped prepare me for my time as commissioner, where I was responsible for oversight of all of DAFs. Although I no longer work in state government, I have sought out other ways to continue to serve. I'm currently a longstanding member of my town's budget committee, where we regularly deal with municipal bond issues. And I'm a member of the board of Megara, the Maine Guaranteed Access Reinsurance Association. But perhaps most importantly, I have a deep commitment to public service. I believe the people of this state deserve good government, and good government requires committed public servants. I'm grateful that the governor has offered me this opportunity to continue to contribute through an appointment to McGeefa. And if confirmed, I look forward to doing what I can to support the work of the authority. Thank you for consideration, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Ms. Schneider. The chair would ask if any member of the committee has questions of the nominee. Do we have any questions? Good morning, Representative Reisman.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairman, and thank you for your testimony today, Ms. Schneider. I'm wondering, looking ahead with the inflationary pressures that we have right now, how that situation may guide some of your decision making.
Well, I think that that's a good question. I think that borrowing is likely to become more costly because the projects are going to become more costly due to the backups and supply chain issues, and the cost of labor and other inputs. And I think that we have to exercise, the authority has to exercise diligent oversight of the process, although it's left to you in the legislature to consider the bond questions, the people of the state and the legislature to consider the bond questions the governor proposes. If confirmed, I would undertake all due diligence to make sure that we are securing the best possible financing terms for the state as we undertake those borrowings to support state government and all the courts and other instrumentalities of the state in ensuring they have the proper facilities they need to do their jobs.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Senator Baldacci.
Thank you. And Ms. Schneider, in terms of one of the issues I'm concerned about having served on a city council is the revitalization of older buildings and the revitalization of downtowns and the cores of a lot of the larger cities. So in terms of and I know that the work of the MGFA a lot of times is new buildings, but I would just be one person to try to encourage you as you join the board, when you folks are financing projects, to look at the cores of the larger cities and see whether there are fits that can be made with the city's downtowns. In Bangor, about 15 years ago, we got the University of Maine to put its art museum downtown. For a period of time, the chancellor's office was downtown, but it helps in terms of one, rehabbing buildings that are vacant, and also, helping to revitalize some of the downtown. So I would just put my 2 cents in and just ask you to consider those as options instead of building new buildings all the time, which are great, but maybe we can rehab a lot of the existing structures and help revitalize communities at the same time. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for that comment, Senator. I agree. It would be nice to take whatever opportunities are available to help rehabilitate and preserve our downtowns. We see that in Augusta and close to where I live. We see it in my little town of Reedfield. It can be a struggle.
Thank you, ma'am. Do we have any further questions for Ms. Schneider? Seeing none, the chair will now take comments from persons attending this hearing who wish to speak for or against this nomination. Cheryl, do we
There
have
are
anybody?
none. No.
There are none?
There are
Thank
none.
you. There are none. Thank you very much. All public comments having been taken, the committee will now proceed as follows. To review any additional written comments. I know we had 2 statements from people in support of Ms. Schneider. And then eventually we will vote on this confirmation. Let me see. Are there any further comments? What will happen is that we will close this meeting, and if we're all in agreement, we can proceed with a vote. Otherwise, we'll have to wait 15 minutes. So are there any further comments with regard to this nomination this morning? Seeing none, the hearing of the Joint Standing Committee on State and Local Government for Ms. Ellen Jane Schneider of Reedfield for appointment to the Maine Government Facilities Authority is now closed. The chair will inquire whether any member present objects to proceeding to taking the vote immediately. Is there an objection? Representative Toole.
I'd make a motion, we go right into having the vote.
Thank you. Is there a second for that? Thank you, Representative Downs. Seeing no objections, the pending question before the committee is that the Joint Standing Committee on State and Local Government recommend to the Senate of the 130th Legislature that the nomination of Ms. Ellen Jane Schneider of Reedfield for appointment to the Maine Governmental Facilities Authority be confirmed. In accordance with 3 MRSA Chapter 6, Section 157, and with the joint rules of the 130th Legislature, the vote will be taken by the yeas and the nays. A vote of yes will be in favor of recommending confirmation. A vote of no will be against the motion to recommend confirmation. Is the committee ready for the question? Cheryl, if you would please call the roll.
Yes. Confirmation of Ellen Jane Schneider. Representative Randall Greenwood.
Yes.
Representative Randall Greenwood, yes. Representative Sean Paulus, absent. Representative Francis Head, absent. Representative Mark Bryant.
Yes.
Representative Mark Bryant, yes. Representative William Toole.
Yes.
Representative William Toole, yes. Representative Ann Matlack.
Yes.
Representative Ann Matlack, yes. Representative Senator Joseph Baldacci.
Yes.
Senator Joseph Baldacci, yes. Senator Kimberly Rosen.
Yes.
Senator Kimberly Rosen, yes. Senator Ned Claxton, absent. Representative Walter Reisman.
Yes.
Representative Walter Reisman, yes. Representative Kathy Downs.
Yes.
Representative Kathy Downs, yes. Representative Lynn Copeland.
Yes.
Representative Lynn Copeland, yes. 9 yes and 3 absent.
Thank you. 9 members of the committee having voted in the affirmative and none in the negative, it is the vote of the Joint Standing Committee on State and Local Government that the nomination of Ms. Ellen Jane Schneider of Reedfield for appointment to the Maine Governmental Facilities Authority be confirmed. Thank you very much, Ms. Schneider, for coming
Thank you
forward.
very much. Thank you.
And thank you, Ms. O'Neill-Lowe, for coming to visit with us once again.
Thank you so much. I hope your end of session goes well, and we'll be seeing you all soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. I'll turn it back over to you, Senator Baldacci. I think Lynn is coming to join
Well,
us.
fabulous job, really. Kudos.
I read the
think-
script well.
Yes, you did an excellent job. Lynn Caswell, you are with us now.
Good morning.
Welcome. We have priorities. We've been asked, I understand, from the Appropriations Committee to make a priority list of spending items. Is that correct?
That's correct, Senator.
You had a memo, I think. Do you want to screen share it or?
Yes, thank you. So as the senator said, Appropriations has asked each committee to prioritize those bills that are either on the appropriations table or are likely to end up on the appropriations table. So I have, and you should be seeing on your screen, the bills from state and local, both from the prior sessions and from this session, that are either on or likely to end up on the appropriations table. I'm going to just draw your attention to the last one, which is 2002. That is on the list because it had a fiscal note, but it's a savings of $500. So I don't think that you necessarily need to prioritize that one. So I would also draw your attention to 1671, which was resolved from the last session to require DAFs and the Department of Public Safety to do the long-term and the short-term planning for security for the cross building. And you may recall that the Commissioner of DAFs testified, I believe in the supplemental, that they have already done that screening. So this had a $200,000 fiscal note to do that screening. So I just want to draw your attention to that as well. I believe the chairs asked that I start with those bills which were unanimous in the committee, and you'll see I identified them with a U. There are two. 1513, which is the roads, abandoned and discontinued roads commission, and that has ongoing general funds of 63,000 in 2022-23, and then ongoing. That is for the costs of a paralegal in the Attorney General's office to oversee and to be engaged in the work of this commission. And the other one that was voted unanimously was from the prior session, 1680, and that is to allow for expense reimbursement and allowances for the legislature with fiscal costs as well. So I don't know how, Madam and Senator, how you would like me to proceed with those two.
Well, why don't I get some comments from members of the committee and then go back. Representative Toole?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I also think there was a unanimous 1073, Senator Stewart's bill on the studying how to improve the legislature. They had a fiscal note of 4750. Was that not on here, or was it? What happened with that? I guess is my first question.
Well, I'm going to check as we speak and see if that ended up on the appropriations table.
I know originally when we were talking about the supplemental budget, we made the recommendation that that it be changed to be taken out of the general fund.
Right. Well, so that actually is sitting on the special study table.
Okay.
So it has not made it off the special study table. So I believe that means that the cost for that would come out of the legislature's study budget.
I see.
But thank you for that question, because
Okay.
you all know I do make errors.
In terms of priorities, does anybody feel it's appropriate that we put to the top of the priority list the 3 items that we were unanimous on? Representative Matlack?
Thank you, sir. Yes, I had asked that we do the unanimous votes first. The third one, we don't need to worry about. That's actually a reduction, but that's just to eliminate commissions. So I think that we don't have to put that on our priority list at all. I believe that we were all in agreement with 1513, which is our abandoned and discontinued roads ongoing permanent commission. So that I think should be high on our list. As far as the act to amend legislative expenses reimbursement and allowances, that That would be nice. We were unanimous on that, so that should probably be up there also. Those seem to be the two that we were unanimous with. And I'd like to see those, at least 15, 13, move to the head of our list.
Representative
I would
Copeland?
second that.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Representative Copeland?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I feel very strongly about LD 1300. We have a housing crisis and we have vulnerable people. And I think that we need to make them a priority and help them. They will become, more productive in our society. They'll become job ready, if you will. They'll have a place to live. I think housing is the key to all of this. And, as a foster parent, I'm always with the view that we need to help families so that our children aren't abused, neglected, and removed from their parents. It's traumatic and does not go away for their entire life. So I really feel strongly that the homelessness bill should be, if not the unanimous, up with unanimous ones right below it. That is just so critical.
Okay. We have thank you, Representative Copeland. We have a motion and a second to put to the top of the priority list, the unanimous items. Can we just do a show of hands? All those in favor of doing that, moving those to the top?
Is
Okay.
it just the unanimous items?
Yes.
Okay.
With the exception of the third one, which we're not gonna worry about at all, 2002. Right.
We're assuming that that doesn't really need any heavy lifting. Is that correct, Lynn?
That's correct.
Okay. So then, let me just go back. I gotta find your list again. Okay, so then you've got issue, campaign finance. Those are the three major ones. And they were all divided reports. Is that correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
What was the most votes?
Oh,
Those three LD, were they all the same number of votes or did one get more than the other?
that I do not have readily handy. I don't know if Cheryl, I think that the senator is asking about 1658, 1610, and 1300.
Yeah.
I was just trying to see if there were any bipartisan votes on those.
I will find you those for you shortly. So 1300 was ought not to pass.
Is that the vote ought not to pass?
1300. Yeah.
What was
Oh,
the numbers?
there were 5 persons that voted ought not to pass on that one. So that means there were 7 voted ought to pass.
1610 and 1658?
1610 was 1610 was 4 voted ought not to pass and 7 voted ought to pass as amended.
And Cheryl, I found 1658, which was
Okay.
5 ought not to pass and the remainder ought to pass as amended.
And we have 1671, is that the other one?
No, 1671 was taken up by DAF, so that
Okay.
has already been dealt with.
Okay.
So we don't have to worry about that. So it's really just these three, I think. So
Right.
in terms of priorities, I mean, I would say that 1610 should be the next one, since it garnered slightly fewer ought not to pass votes. But
That is also the bill an act to promote equity in policy making by
right,
enhancing the state's ability to collect and analyze and apply data. And as we say, if you don't count it, you don't know what it is. So I believe this is a very important bill also. So I would support Senator Baldacci in putting this forward as one that we're supportive of.
Representative Tool.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So to be clear, when this report goes in, are we going to have the vote tallies of each
Yes.
individual? So it will be reflected that the two unanimous, that we unanimously agreed, and
Mhm.
everything thereafter, it will be noted what the vote tallies were.
Correct.
Okay,
I believe so. Lynn, is that how we should be doing this?
That there is no formula, but that was what I had intended to do.
because if that's the case, I have no problem putting the report in as such. I don't plan on supporting some of the other divided reports that I didn't vote for, but as long as we're of the understanding that the report is just a reflection of our committee votes, then I have no problem with that.
Right.
So I'm assuming that nobody's changed their position on this, but do you want to take another vote to include in the priorities? Is that what you want us to do, Lynn? By show of hands, or?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe what AFA is looking for is for the committee to say which are the top priorities. So I would, it's a little difficult sometimes to figure out how to do that, but I would say that yes, having a vote on how many people think that, for example, 1610 is the third priority of the committee. Should that bill end up on the appropriations table? I think that's the vote.
Favor of having it, making it a priority? 16.
Representative Copeland had a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Well, obviously, these are all priorities for us, or they wouldn't be on the list. I'm wondering how deep they're going to go. Are they like arbitrarily taking the top four, or are they, how is it going to be considered on the other end?
Really hard for us to judge that, but certainly the higher they are the priority, the more like the top, the more likely they're going to get funded. But I mean, how much gets funded is really up to them, and I don't think we have a clear sense right now, unless Lynn or Representative Matlack know more than I do.
Not really. It will all depend on. It's our recommendation. We're the committee that has dealt most closely with all of these bills that come out of our committee. So they would like for us to prioritize, rank, or to support a bill coming out so that they know that this is something that is supported by state and local government committee. So in as much as there are two that are unanimous, that's a nice position for us to be in for those two bills. The other bills were divided reports, and I think just because they are divided, and we know they're still going to stay divided, that those would be in our second tier bills. I don't think that they're going to take the first two or three and say these are the ones we're going to fund. It's all a question of finance. So it would be a preference, and if one of these bills fits into a theme or something that the AFA seems to want to move forward with, then that will happen. I don't know that us saying that we favor 1610 over 1300 will give 1610 a leg up. I just know that we're going to have our divided reports, and that's the way it's going to be.
Well, I would say that addressing homelessness also addresses equity, and it supports, we're state and local government. It supports our local communities. I just can't advocate enough for this. It is, to me, the most critical one we have.
Representative Bryant has his hand up too.
Representative Bryant?
Thank
Or
you.
Representative Green, and then Representative Greenwood after.
Thank you, Senator, and thank you, Madam Chair. I think that 1610 being 4-7 really doesn't make any difference, because probably with 5-7 if everybody voted. But I do think that you need to, on 1610, you need to have the ability to collect and analyze the data, even to know how to deal with our homeless and other issues. So I think that might be the starting point to help us with any issue. And that's why I think, though 1300 is extremely important, you can't analyze the data, you can't track where the people are, you don't really have the best tools. So I like 1610 for that reason.
Representative Greenwood?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess my thoughts are, I haven't heard of anybody looking to change their vote, so to speak. But if we wanted to just use the divided report numbers without taking another vote, that would also be indicative of, what the vote was when we had a full committee, versus taking it now and having one less member. I don't have a preference either way, but I just don't think we need to go through the exercise of revoting. But if that's what the pleasure of the committee is, I will revote in my original position.
No, I think that's a good suggestion. I think what you're basically saying is that we reorder these in terms of the votes they got or the votes they didn't get or whatever, in terms of what they already got, and then just send it back to AFA.
Yeah.
Representative Reisman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm wondering if we could hear how the committee voted by person on LD 1300.
Cheryl, do you have that?
I do. Am I on mute?
No, I can hear you.
Okay. So the ought not to passes for LD 1300 were Representative Downs, Representative Greenwood, Representative Head, Representative Reisman, and Representative Toole. And for some reason, this is split on my.
I have the list if you.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do.
I don't have the list.
Yeah, I just pulled it up off the web.
Oh,
Senator Baldacci, Representative Matlack, Representative Bryant, Senator Claxton, Representative Copeland, Representative Dorr, Representative Paulus, and Senator Rosen. We're all yes, we're ought to pass on 1300.
One absent.
Pardon me, was that?
Was there one absent or no?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nope, that was 13.
Okay.
This one, 7. So I only counted 12 too. So it was 7 yes and 5 no.
That's correct.
8 and 5.
8 and 5. Okay.
Yeah, Cheryl gave us the number of 5 and 7. So I'm wondering if you could read the 8 off again, please.
Sure, certainly. Senator Baldacci, Senator Rosen, Senator Claxton, Representative Matlack, Representative Bryant, Representative Copeland, Representative Dorr, Representative Paulus.
so that was one of the votes that Representative Dorr was able to give.
Correct. That was early on.
So that's a 5 to 8 vote, not a 5 to 7 vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm of the same mind as Representative Greenwood, that we should say the two unanimous were unanimous out of the committee, and we still support these bills, and that the following bills were majority ought to pass, but not entirely. There were divided reports, but we support these.
Right, and our votes still remain the same, so.
Well, it does make that 5 to 8, and none of the other two have 8, so.
Actually, Representative, I believe 1658 was also 8 to 5.
It was, okay. Okay.
So.
Oh, wait, 1, 2. No, I was wrong. So there's 1 8 to 5, 1 and 2 7 to 4.
Okay.
4.
We should, I think Representative Greenwood and Representative Matlack are correct that we should, the top tier are the unanimous ones, and then after that would be the bills that garnered the most votes in descending order, whatever they may be. I mean,
Right.
obviously, it'd be an asterisk indicating that one member of our committee died.
May I also say that, and it's going to be difficult because Representative Dorr passed away. So
Right.
she was not able to vote on some of these bills.
Right.
So for 1610 on collecting, analyzing, applying data, ought to pass was Senator Baldacci, Senator Rosen, Representative Matlack, Representative Bryant, Representative Copeland, Representative Pauls, Representative Reisman. And the ought not to pass was Representative Downs, Representative Greenwood, Representative Head, Representative Toole. May I say that both of them were bipartisan in that Senator Rosen supported both of those. So yes.
Yeah, and I would also indicate on that bill that Senator Claxton could have recorded his vote, but didn't. But he would have most likely been part of the majority on that. But
well, he did not vote. So
yeah.
But yeah. So putting them in order, unanimous, the first unanimous votes, and then the other votes, 1, 2, 3. I think that's the way we go.
Right, and I would indicate which ones were bipartisan at least, even though they were divided.
Okay.
The number 3 in the ranking is therefore 1300.
No, 16. No.
What's going to be the number 3 priority?
I think what we said was that there's going to be a top tier of the unanimous, and then there'll be a second tier of what our priorities are in divided reports based on the votes that they got before. So whatever. So most likely, if 1300 got the most votes, I think that would be reflected, and then there would be an asterisk indicating that one of our members passed away. So therefore, some of these other votes are going to be 8 to 5.
Yeah. In actuality, if we went 1300, 1610, 1658, that would be fine. Just saying that they were divided reports, and the first two had bipartisan support.
Right.
So personally, I don't agree with that order. I don't. If I'm just one person, that's fine.
Well, why don't you tell us what you think would be a big deal?
I think it's absolutely essential that we get this the analyzing data as the third priority, because we can't really do some of the other ones as well without having that. So I would put that number 3, and then number 4 would be, in my mind, would be the municipal elections. And number 5, I'm having a little bit of a problem with that one after talking with a lot of town officials about the home rule provision, and having a county government take that on and kind of end up telling municipalities how they should go is not something I'd want to put big money into. I think homelessness is a local, very local issue, town by town, how they want to deal with it. So sorry.
So Greenwood, you have your hand up?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, I don't have a preference as to the rank order of the remaining bills, but I would like to just, indicate that this was a divided report and these were the numbers. rather
Mhm.
than just say we had bipartisan without showing the numbers. I'd like to show the numbers, please.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. The numbers should be reflected. I agree. And I think there should be an asterisk indicating that one of our members passed away. And I think there should be a notation if some of the votes got members of both parties, were on the majority or minority side.
So moved.
Representative Bryant.
Thank you. I think we're overthinking it because I agree that they're going to look at the unanimous ones and they're going to see the others. I would keep it in the chronological order, do the first two and then just go 1,300, 1,650, keep it, and then put the notations, as you say, so that they know it's bipartisan, if that's what you choose in the numbers. And that will, they're only going to look at so much. And those three on the end are going to probably be all in the same box in their thinking. So chronologically, it'd probably be good and put the notations aside and move on, I think is where I'd be at.
That's
I'm
basically
happy to
what
move that that's the way that we list our, the bills on our report to AFA.
I think by Representative Copeland as well, but is there another second?
Oh, okay.
So moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed? Okay, there's one opposed. Okay.
No, there's two opposed.
Two opposed? Okay, I'm sorry.
Who was, Representative Greenwood was opposed?
Representative Copeland and Representative Reisman.
They both opposed?
Yes.
So they're allowed to have a minority report, I guess. And maybe
Not really, not really.
Representative Bryant, you have your hand up.
I'm a little confused with Representative Copeland's, if she voted against it, we put 1,300 at the top of the list by doing it the way we're doing, so why would she object?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. Then I agree. Sorry. Thank you for pointing that out. Oh, my goodness. I
Okay,
missed
so
that.
now we have one dissenting vote with Representative Reisman, correct?
Yes.
That's correct.
So at least, Lynn, you have a direction of the majority of the committee as
That's
to our
correct.
priority. Thank you.
Yes. I will put 1513 and 1680 in the first category. I will put the remaining three in chronological order with the votes, indicating which ones we had a member who was no longer with us, and also which ones were bipartisan. It's due at the end of the day, so I will draft that up quickly and send it to the chairs for approval.
Okay, great. Does
And will
anybody
you
have?
include, if I may,
I'm sorry, Representative Copeland, go ahead.
were you also going to put the numbers, the voting numbers? And
Yes.
okay, thank you.
Yes.
Does anyone have any other questions or comments? Is there any other business to come before the committee?
Representative Reisman has a question.
Well, it's not a question, just so much a statement for reference, and that is that there was a couple sessions ago where we had a bill passed where the auditor was going to compile the results of the single audit. And my concerns in the bill revolved around the fact that there were several committees who were not in compliance with the audit. And I asked him to run a tabulation from last year's audit. And we still have several areas that are of concern. And on top of that, we will be getting a new report probably sometime in the next few weeks from the single audit that was just done. So I wanted the committee to understand that there are continuing issues around compliance in some of the committees. And it's not probably something we're going to deal with this year, but I wanted to let you know since we went to the effort to try to get some information. So we can leave it at that.
Thank you.
So Lynn, do we have any other business?
We do not, Mr. Chair.
There are no other bills being referred.
As far as I know, there are no other bills being referred.
Well, a Representative Matlack, I apologize not being able to make the get together, but I just want to personally thank you and everybody on the committee for working together and getting a lot done. And so I've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing folks in person over the next couple of weeks.
Terrific.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Favor? We are adjourned. Thank